Hey, yeah, what's up? This is Disciple Marshall Occurrence. Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day. Yeah, this video is going to be about a case of a 15-year-old girl getting raped by two NYPD officers. It's going to be about a 15-year-old girl getting raped by two New York City police officers. Okay, the officers' names are Officer Sanad Musallam and Officer Yaser Shohatee. So Officer Sanad Musallam and Officer Yaser Shohatee. Officer Yaser Shohatee and Officer Sanad Musallam. Okay, so first thing first, the teen was a troubled and unhealthy teen. Okay, that was her state when they found her, which already makes it worse. She was a troubled teen and unhealthy from the time that they laid eyes on this girl. Okay, from the time that these officers laid eyes on this 15-year-old girl, she was unhealthy and troubled. Okay, her mom was worried about her drug use and all that kind of thing. Okay, so the mother gave the officer Sanad Musallam the girl's phone number. The mother gave Officer Sanad Musallam the girl's phone number. So the mother gave the officers the phone number. Just trust in the police. This is real. This isn't conspiracy. Okay, this is facts. Officer Sanad suggested that the 15-year-old girl join a youth program of the New York Police Department called the Explorers, a youth program for 14-year-old to 20-year-olds called the Explorers. How much of a bigger punchline do you need right there? The kid then, so after she got involved with this program in police New York Police Department, she got involved in this program. After some time went by in this program, the kid told her mom that her and the two officers had been sending hundreds of text messages. Hundreds. Now they done trusted the girl. The mother done trusted the girl over to this NYPD youth program. And now they trading text messages. And in one of the text messages, Salam asked her to send a revealing pic. So, through all these text messages, Officer Sanad Musallam asked the girl to send a revealing picture now. And she part of a youth program. Okay? It gets worse. Musallam had her perform a sex act with her hand in his cop car. So she jacked this New York police officer off in his car. She jacked this man off in his car. In the car. This is supposed to be a car of integrity, a car to protect and serve your community, and he's getting a hand job from a 15-year-old girl where you paying taxes for that to happen. He getting jacked off by a 15-year-old in a cop car where he's supposed to be looking for the predators. Okay, it gets worse. 4 or 5 times the girl said Officer Shohatee had her visit his apartment alone in the middle of the night. So you know what happened. 4 to 5 times the girl left her house or wherever she was at to visit the cop's house, to visit his apartment alone, with nobody else, in the middle of the night. So you know what happened. It gets worse. After her daughter, the kid came to the mother. After her daughter told her What happened? The mother filed a complaint with the Internal Affairs. Both officers were placed on modified duty in June 2018 while the NYPD investigated. Okay, so Officer Shohatee, now, keep going. Officer Shohatee asked, would she be down to have sex? He asked a 15-year-old girl. This is an officer now, NYPD officer. Asking a girl, 15-year-old girl, that probably looked 15. How old can, there's no excuse. She looked like a 15-year-old. He asked her, would she be down to have sex? Okay. An NYPD Assistant Deputy Commissioner determined this past March, now this is up to date, this is March 2021, that both officers had raped the girl when she was 15 and incapable of consenting to sex. Again, an NYPD Assistant Deputy Commissioner determined this past March 2021 that both officers had raped the girl when she was 15 and incapable of consenting to sex. Okay? Here's where it gets worse as them being men. The officers denied the allegations. Denied the allegations. The NYPD fired the officers. Neither officers were criminally charged. The girl was determined to have been raped and have been, In March 2021, the girl was determined to have been raped. So this information became public at that time, and there was no protesting at all, nor a protest that the officers would be criminally charged. So y'all didn't protest. This information just came out this past March. Although the case has been going on for some time, the determination of this, all the results came in. Let me say this. All the results came in basically March 2021. So what? That's April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 8 months ago. 8 months ago, all the results came in. These for all you vigilantes and all you Batman and the Crow type of military shadowy vigilantes. This is for you. This is your work. This is for you right here. This is for you. You think you Bruce Lee's son, the Crow, jumping around and stuff. Okay, this is for you. This girl was 15 years old, raped by two officers that put her in a youth program, not in the city, not in the inner city program, downtown somewhere not that. Right in the police department, they put her in a youth program. And was interacting and watching this young troubled girl, and then wind up having sex with her, getting jacked off in the police department. Now, for the faint of heart, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna stop right here and say this because I think this needs to be said. For you Christians and for you soft, tenderoni people in America, you got to begin to grow tough skin to be able to hear stories like this. You got to. Because if you don't hear stories like this, if you always cringe and always don't want to hear it, it's just too devastating for you to hear, then guess what? These people go without justice. You don't bring people to justice that need to be brought to justice if you're always closing your ears to the things that go on. That's what most of you are doing. And then you may think, some of y'all may think that I'm being a pessimist, that I'm looking at all the negative part of society. This does not apply this dynamic of bringing evil to justice does not apply to the dynamics of having a pessimistic attitude or optimistic attitude. Okay? You can be an optimistic person and still find out what's going on in the world because it's necessary. They trying to find out what's going on with you. The government's trying to find. Meanwhile, you got a girl, 15-year-old, all the results just came in 8 months ago, and where were all you people protesting? Where were all you people talking about protecting the children? Where were all you gangsters? Where were all you so-called upstanding police? Where was the politicians? This is a big case. This should have been brought to national attention. Where were all your national leaders? Where were all these preachers? Where were all you Christians? Where were all you people standing out there like you the hood protectors for children? Where were you at? Nobody knows about this. We didn't see you protest. This is my protest right here. My video right here is my protest. Yeah. While you sitting up waiting to try to get somebody, you got the work. You got the work right here that you have not done. You got unfinished work, and you sitting up here standing right here like you some honorable person trying to protect children. You got work you ain't even done. You got work you ain't even done. That's for all of y'all. This is work that you haven't even done. These men were not criminally charged. They just got fired. Now they somewhere doing whatever. You think they stopped having sex? I'm just keeping it 100. You think they stopped having sex? So you don't think these men have had any form of sex since this happened? These men are free, didn't get charged, and still having sex. In other words, they're still ejaculating somewhere, whether it's by themselves or with someone else. Meanwhile, you sitting up acting like you are a mob to find who is sex predators, and you have not went after these officers. They didn't get charged. They're free. Why you ain't got no operations around them? When they are the people that's supposed to be on your side. They are the people that's supposed to be protecting your children. You supposed to been tore them up. You supposed to been had a mob around them. The people that's supposed to protect your children. This mother trusted these cops. She trusted these cops with her child, man. And they had sex with this child. The mother gave the officers the girl's number. And they raped her, man. They had sex with her. They had that girl perform one of the officers got jacked off in his cop car. A fully grown officer got jacked off in his cop car. And you sitting up talking about the cops this, the cops that. You sitting up talking all this stuff, right? You sitting up talking about the cops need to do this. The cops are so good. The cops don't get paid. The cops don't, all this loving stuff towards the cops and all of this stuff. And these are the people that's sitting around gang stalking and messing with people like me, following around people like me, right? Following around people like me and all of this. And they sit and they done, one of their own have raped a 15-year-old girl, and the results came in March 2021, 8 months ago. And you ain't done nothing about it. You ain't said nothing to the NYPD cops. You ain't went down to that police station. You have not had any national uproar. And they brought her in a youth program in the New York PD, in the New York Police Department, one of those precincts somewhere. They brought that girl, a 15-year-old girl, up in the police department in the belly of the beast. And was getting hand jobs in a cop car, and had her coming in the middle of the night to have sex. One of the officers had her coming to have sex with him in the middle of the night. And they knew she was troubled. They knew she was an unhealthy teen. They knew, and they preyed on that. And these the people you trust more than me. When you hear that siren, just like you heard in the music in the video, y'all heard that siren. That's the sound of the people they trust. That's who they trust. The same cop that raped that 15-year-old girl, the same cops that raped that 15-year-old girl, get that siren that you heard, that cop car where the cop got the hand job and got jacked off from the girl, it had a siren that sounded like that. Just what you heard in my video, that siren. It had a siren just like that. People you trust, so-called. People that you can so-called trust. People that you can quote-unquote trust. Rape that 15-year-old girl. That is a child. And this is the problem in America. You want to sit back and accuse. It's typical. You see where I'm going with this? You want to accuse the typical. You want to accuse the people that look like they do this, look like they do that, but the people that the woman trusted raped her daughter. Had her coming in the middle of the night to his apartment. Had her jacking him off in a cop car. Ejaculating on a 15-year-old girl's hand. Putting penis all up in a 15-year-old girl. And you know he's a cop. This guy got some weight on him. He putting all that weight during the sex act on a 15-year-old girl's body. And she probably revealed it because she felt like she was being raped. She probably revealed it to her family because once they started having sex with her, they probably roughed her up like they rough up people on the streets. She probably wanted it to go as far as it did. Physically speaking, rough speaking. And it probably got rougher than she expected it to be. And they just took over and they probably got off like that. Just taking it and being rough with it. Because they knew they was probably going to get caught. So they probably just went in and did as much as they could while they could. And did it the way they did it because they knew they was going to get caught. They did it as rough as they could. And as far as the evil mind, enjoyed it as roughly and toughly as they could. And that's why she revealed it. Why she revealed it then? Ask yourself this. Because usually a young person like that, especially with the cops, she probably was scared the cops would do something to her or something. She was some way guilty because she did go out in the middle of the night. But so why she reveal it? I think because they basically had acts of humiliation as far as sex goes. They probably just was rough, tough, and everything. And she just felt humiliated. I guarantee you, a cop did that, she felt humiliated at some point. Come on now, think about it. She felt humiliated. They did something to that girl for her to reveal all of that when she was actually sending texts to them. She was sending texts to them. She went and on her own by herself to see one of the cops. So what make her reveal all of this? Because when she went into it, when it happened, I guarantee you it was some form of sexual humiliation. She's 15 and they're cops. That's already sexual humiliation in itself. Yeah. And you sitting up looking at the man down the street. You sitting up looking at somebody as they walk by like they some sex predator. In your city, New York, yeah, I'm talking to you while I'm here. Your city got cops, 2 cops that raped a 15-year-old girl, and your city didn't protest at all about it. The information came out in March 2021, 8 months ago, and your whole city did not protest. We don't want to hear nothing about you. We don't want to hear nothing about you trying to bring somebody to justice. We don't want to hear nothing about that. When you got clearly a real predator, 2 real predators that raped a 15-year-old girl in your city. And that information came out in March 2021 of this year. You know why you're not concerned about it? You know why you ain't protesting? Because you're not about that life. You're not about that life. You ain't trying to help no children. That's why I'm trying to show you, man. These people are not trying to help no children. Where was the national outcry about that? These are cops. Y'all cry about them shooting people. Y'all cry about that. Yeah. You didn't cry about this. 15-year-old girl raped by 2 police officers that were supposed to be attacking and finding the sex predators. Nah, man. There's no excuse for that. You can sign up for a job and not have sex with 15-year-old girls. You can control yourself better than that. And yet, y'all don't say nothing. Yeah, if you're about that life, man, if I can find this information, why can't you? Because you know, why can't I didn't dig for it. It was right there. It was right there. I didn't look for officers in sex scandal 2021. I didn't do that. I should do that. But I didn't do that at that time. That information came up as the news. So that means all of y'all got it. That means nationwide got it. If I got it, you got it. You don't have the integrity. That's for this neighborhood I live in. That's for this building I live in. That's for this city I live in. That's for this country I live in. You don't have the integrity to be trying to find out if somebody's a sex predator. You don't. Because when it really comes in, when it really pops off, the real stuff, what you're missing in action. You're MIA. I don't want to hear you. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. Because this is people right here, that in clear sight. You want to see a sex predator? Here it is, right here. 2 cops raped a 15-year-old girl. That's sex predators right there in your face, right here in your city. It's not no magical cartoon thing. It's not no mysterious thing. Right there, 2 officers raped a 15-year-old girl. Yeah, we don't want to hear nothing else from you. That's part of the conclusion. And the other part of the conclusion is the people, like I always say, that are in power, that are around these kids, is the ones that's doing it. They the ones that's doing these things to kids. They signed this girl up for a youth program in the police department of New York. This girl is in a police department youth program and she winds up jacking a cop off in a car. Wind up going to a cop's house in the morning. in the middle of the night. Yeah, this is 2021 we talking about. It was an ongoing case, but the results came in, and I found out, and y'all found out, March 2021, 8 months ago. Ain't no excuse. You know what you do? You know what you do? You turn a blind eye. That's what you do. Because it don't look the part of the kind of sex predator you trying to get. You go hang R. Kelly because that's what you looking for. You're looking for that type. You go hang people like that. You hung people like Michael Jackson. Why y'all didn't hang them police officers that's supposed to be, it's their job to protect the children. That's their job. You are hypocrites. And I don't want to hear nothing from you. You are filthy hypocrites. I don't want to hear you say nothing to me about no sex predator, nothing. I don't care if you're a man, woman, or child. Even children can look this up and find this information. We are not listening to anybody that could be finding this information and looking at the real enemy and looking at the real predators.